Hello, hello, hello. Hello. I feel like my mic is quieter. Is it louder now? I don't know. Just gotta do this. Actually, I totally forgot to start tracking. I have a stitch in my, feels my left lung. It feels somewhat unpleasant, but here we are. Wow. Amazing. Wow. Let's get it started. Boom. He's in there. Or we're in there. It's mostly just me though. Alright. So, because we're starting early today, we'll also be ending slightly earlier than normal. But let's get this going. Well, I say that. We might not be ending earlier than normal. I don't know. So this is for the iFacial mocap stuff. Okay, update the stream title. Writing a VTuber render with Godot. Done. All right. That's pretty much it, right? Okay. So this is what I have going so far. I do have an iOS device now, so I am able to actually test the tracking stuff. iFacial mocap hidden local IP button. Yeah. So I don't really know how other projects do it, or if I'm able, or if like the iFacial mocap stuff exposes. Actually, it's possible that I could do this in the opposite order. So there's an iFacial mocap like server. So I let iFacial mocap, IFM, that's what I'm going to be calling it from now on. I let that kind of handle the, I guess the broadcasting, and then we just receive it as a client. Wait, no, as a server. Or we can be the clients and then connect to this iFacial mocap server, but I'm not sure if there is a server. Hold on. I have it open on my tablet here. Destination IP address. No, that is an IP address. Okay, so I guess this is just a client, I suppose. And then enter port number computer. So that's the IP. Oh no. That's fine, I guess. It doesn't matter. Either way, I guess we're not able to connect to IFM. We can only receive from IFM. Something about calling it iFacial mocap kind of freaks me out. So we'll just abstain from that. I'm going to be calling it IFM for now. But here we go. It looks like I need to send this string whenever I want to communicate with the IFM app. So that's weird, but I can live with it for now. Let's do this though. Local IP. So, copy to clipboard, something like that, right? This is an error. So we will be translating this copy IP to clipboard, and we'll also add like a little hint to the thingamajig So copy IP to a clipboard. This copies my IP to the clipboard, so, you know, no one else can connect. That would be weird. You should never try to, I guess, show that on stream. That's like kind of a bad idea. I don't know. Don't let me tell you how to live your life, though. Let's do something like this, though. So there's going to be a few refactorings going on right now. So I think one of the big ones is that how the apply logic works. I'm going to have to think about it. I'm going to have to think about it. Maybe we'll just make it so like interpolation data is the only thing that's sent along with the extra dictionary, so that each tracker will not have access to the model. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But here, you want to no focus. I think that's yeah, no focus. So some sort of control. I think this makes sense. Focus mode is equal to focus none. So do not focus. This is something that a lot of GUI elements actually need, because it's kind of a pain. So for example, this hidden local IP, we don't want this to focus. Something like that. Or the toggle tracking button. Also, we don't want it to focus. Go, and then let's also add some hints. Hints are always nice. Or how did I call it? What did I call it in the other ones? Tooltip? I might have called it tooltip in the other ones. Very possible. Let me see. And just resources, translations. So some of these do have hints. I don't remember though. Or maybe this didn't have a hint. But this one. Okay, I called it hints in there as well. It doesn't matter though. These are all kind of separate stuff. Gets your computers local, or your computer's IP address. I actually don't know if it's what the difference between a local and public IP address is, but I've always kind of thought that 192.168 and then the numbers after that were not public, but they might be. I don't know. Because if they were, I mean, you would run out of IP addresses pretty quickly. Or maybe that's just the one that's assigned to you by your network provider, but I don't know. I feel like it's not one-to-one, right? Like one person does not have just one IP address. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11. Internet 12, 13. I have 13 internet connected devices. So, oh, actually, no, 13, 14. I have 14 internet connected devices. So I'm assuming that they don't all have a unique public facing IP, but maybe they do. Copies your address to the system clipboard. Do not show this on stream. Do not show this on stream. There we go. And so then here, I mean, I'm pretty sure your computer's local IP, or the IP address that Godot will be giving you, is not actually a public facing one, but it might be. It's always better to err on the side of safety, right? Just in case. Toggles the on or off. Facial mocap port. Hint, I guess. So the port to listen on should only be changed if you know what you are doing. Technical writing tip of the day: do not use contractions if they are not needed. Or it's like technical writing in addition to just regular business writing, right? So you always want to avoid contractions if possible, at least in English. I don't know about other languages. I'm drinking some mead. It's pretty good. Mead is basically honey wine, I guess. Or it's wine, but like instead of using grapes, you ferment honey. It's delicious. I think it's also like fairly high alcohol content, but I don't know, it tastes good. Connections from should only be changed. We're doing. There we go. So let's add these hints here. Hint tooltip is slap this in there. There's the port. I feel like I should be adding these to all of them. Oh, hello, Needle Mouse. What's up? How are you? How are you? How was your first week of school, I think? Did school start for you? What day is it? Yeah, right? School started on a Wednesday for you, which means that, spoilers, you are probably located on the East Coast of the US or the US South. Because I think like the West Coast starts on like a Monday. Started 2 weeks ago? Oh. I apologize. It's been a while since I was in high school. I don't know. Like it's also been a while since I've been in school. It's been 5 years. And even then, like when you go to university, like school doesn't always like start on a Wednesday. It depends on when you schedule your classes. So you either have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Tuesday, Thursday class. I much prefer taking Tuesday, Thursday classes. Mostly because like you're in class for a longer amount of time. But on the same token, like you also only have class 2 days a week, which is really nice. It does mean that like if you stack all your classes on those days, it gets really rough. So I'm working on my game in C and Raylib. Nice, nice, nice. Raylib, pretty sick. They came out with, was it 4.1? I think? That sounds about right to me. How to put a void function in my header file and adding it to my main file from the header file. It's gonna cry until I got some help. Don't you, isn't it? you just need to put it on your include path. I think C is one of those languages where you're gonna have a lot of trouble unless you like read a book. Like, it's gonna be tough. Unless you already know what you're doing. Like I know enough from just casual reading to be really dangerous with C and C++. But It's definitely one of those languages where you're gonna run into a lot of trouble. If you don't read a book. Done this wrong. Yeah, I did that. I didn't know why I wasn't working at first. I had to add another C file in the make file. What do you mean? What do you mean add another C file? You mean the implementation? So your header is the interface if you're coming from a language like Java or C#, where you can define an interface and then something implements that interface, except in Java and C#, of course, you don't. It is not required. Whereas in C, I think you actually don't need to split up your interface and implementation. You could just put everything in a header file, which is referred to as a header-only library. Big fan of those. Although the big downside to using a header-only library is that you need to recompile every single time. I think that's the downside, if I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, shouldn't all your implementation files just be on your compile path? I don't know. Maybe that's not how that works and I'm crazy. All right, but check this out. What we're working on is IFM, eye facial mocap. So now we have no hints. You're not going to give me a hint? Oh, did I not implement the hints for... no, I did implement the hints. Really? Really? Or maybe there is no hints and I'm crazy? Let me think. So another C file had a void function. I put that function in a header and then included the header in the main file, added the void function from the header to the main file. But then you need to implement it though, right? You can't just, unless you made it a header only function, so you put the implementation and the declaration in the same file. Is that what you're talking about? You have to be very specific when we're talking about programming, especially at a low level like that. In order for that, and to include the original file that had the void function to the make file. Yes, yes. The implementation, yes. Because without the implementation, your program does not know what to run. Yeah. Does this not exist? Oh, I didn't add it. I'm stupid. I was looking at this for whatever reason. It should be this tooltip. What does implementation mean? So you have two files, right? So you have your header file, which is the header. So you'll have two types of files in C. You'll either have your header, which is a .h, and then you'll have your implementation, which is a .c file, right? So sometimes you'll hear a header file be called your interface as well. Where implementation refers to, you have your header, right? And then the implementation. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? It's self-explanatory. I'm kidding, your words are too professional for my understanding. Hey, you know, age has nothing to do with it. You know, it could be that you're a genius. You never know. Getting older doesn't mean that you're smarter. It's only how much that you're willing to learn and how much you're able to retain that determines whether or not you are an intelligent person. Well, smarter, intelligent, wise, I don't know. Like, I define, like, I'm trying to find a different word for it. Like, mental capability in 3 ways, right? So there's how much you know, how smart you are. That's how much you know, aka how smart you are. your ability to reason, aka your intelligence, and then your experience, aka wisdom, right? So the ability to spit out and retain information is how smart you are, aka like if you were to memorize the dictionary, you would be very, very smart. Being able to figure out the meaning of a word from its root components would make you very intelligent. But of course, that requires a base level of, smartness, right? Because you need to know what the root components mean in English, at least. And then wisdom is just encountering something before, right? So if you touch a hot pan, you are now slightly wiser as long as you remember it in the future. My character didn't move after I added the whole thing. I did found out how statics actually work. Static functions are pretty sick. To change the player statement from static to extern. From static to extern? Do you need to have an extern? I don't think that's how that works, unless your player is like a C++ file. Right, static just means that you are not allowed to reassign it, right? Or it's statically available. Actually, what does static mean in a C context? I know what it means in an object-oriented context, right? So you have a static member of a class. That means that every single instance of that class will share the same variable. And a static class just means that you don't need to instantiate it. It's basically a global, right? Other than that, I don't know. I guess that's one of the things that's lacking. I don't know what the difference between. We can look it up right now. C static versus extern, I guess. I thought extern meant it was like. Oh, extern is a global in like a application sense. Okay. Interesting. I think a lot of people would argue you should not be using globals. Lots of people would already argue against using static variables, right? Like you should be passing variables along. You should not just be accessing magic variables. But I think that's like that's an architecture thing that you need to figure out yourself, because everyone has a different opinion on that, right? I think I used to be very against. I used to subscribe, all in on the, no global state. You pass everything that you need along. But now I'm like, yeah, global state's kind of nice. just don't overuse it. You only use global state for things that need to be global. So like things like a player character probably shouldn't be global, because you don't need access to your player in your main menu, right? But things like your configuration makes sense to be global. Static will make this local to a translation unit, huh? Every file that includes will have its own player variable, so you're modifying the one that file C has, which doesn't affect the one in main C. That's what I've been told. That makes sense. I think that also makes sense. It's local to the file, but it's global to the file. So I mean, the only way to really describe it is like in an object-oriented context. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, extern makes it so it's global. So it'll be application global, not file global. Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of an anti-pattern, right? You don't want global should be reserved for things that need to be application global. Yeah. I think it's important to learn that there's a difference between like learning the syntax of a language and learning how to structure a program. Right? It's like the theory versus practice argument, right? Like the theory is nice, but theory doesn't always hold up once we start implementing. Yeah, that's the gist of what I'm trying to get at. All right, let me think. So get data. Hmm. I think this is actually kind of wrong. So we'll do value is null. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so what I'm doing right now, I don't know if I've already mentioned this before, but I am working on IFM support, aka iFacial mocap. Don't say facial too much. Which is, it uses Apple's fancy AI camera tricks. Well, it's not tricked. It's not a trick. It's like really cool technology, right? So you get really cool, really accurate facial tracking. So that's what I'm working on here. I pretty much already have it working. I just need to do the rest of it. And I think I have the parsing down as well. Like this is how the data comes to me. It sucks. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. So I think this default stuff can go away because we're not using it. I don't know if I should do a top-down shooter or a general RPG. Top-down shooter is definitely a lot easier. Want to get it out before September 9th for a special day of a cool character. Is that a Toho thing? Is it Cerno? Cerno? But top-down shooter is definitely very easy. Yes. Wait, did I get it right? Was it Cerno? Who's Cerno? Cerno. Fumo. Yes, it's the blue one. The one that the most common one, I think, right? Is Cerno the most popular Toho character? Funny Nine Girl? Who's Funny Nine Girl? But I think top-down shooter is definitely a lot easier to implement because like an RPG, right? There's a lot of data structures that go into that, right? So every character needs to have, you know, stats associated with them. Every character needs to have the ability to add stats, you know, modify other stats. There's a lot of numbers, right? Like even I struggle. I'm actually currently struggling with designing an RPG system. I've been working on it in my downtime. And by downtime, I mean it's actually my primary project. I've rewritten it several times. I just don't like how the stats are being calculated. Right, because preferably you would want every stat to, you know, be configurable in the same way, so you can interact with each stat. So you just ask for the number, or you add a number to it, and then it just kind of works, right? Cerna's not only the most popular, but the strongest. Okay. I don't know. I know nothing about her. All I know is her name is Cerno. She's blue. You know, dabba dee dabba die. I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba dee dabba die. Need to grab this stuff. I feel like I've copied this multiple times, but I just have not been slapping it in here. So this is the ID string, I guess. Why not? I actually have not tested this, but I keep seeing this. This feels like a really insecure way of connecting to the application, to the iOS app, but you know, whatever. It's not mine. It's not my application. She has her own powdered milk brand, her own game starring her, and a playable character in the mainline games. Cerno? Hello, Wyatt. Hello. How are you? I'm working on iFacial mocap supports. I already have it able to receive tracking data because I do have an iOS device. I completely slipped my mind. You know, for my birthday this year, I bought myself an iPad Pro because I haven't made any big purchases this year besides, that was it. And I was like, oh wait, an iPad can run like iOS apps, right? So this is the implementation. It's pretty easy actually. I threw it together in like an hour last night. So when I get finished with this, I can then release another alpha build of vPupper, which should also include several other improvements, which is that's the hope. That's the hope. We're working on it, right? Way beyond what my brain can comprehend, but it's still very cool to see. Well, the application flow is actually pretty simple, right? You know, so we have the splash setup. So this is the splash setup screen. This is what you see here. It's actually needed so that the rest of the application has time to load before we go into here. So, you know, I spice it up a little bit. We do lose a little bit of performance because of the fancy splash screen, but now here we have the VRM runner. You can define other runners. I am working on another type of runner, and so you might be asking what the heck is a runner? A runner is basically what we switch to. So when we go to run, get it, it's a runner. This handles 3D models in a kind of, it's almost convoluted, right? So we have the UI layer, and then we have an internal viewport, aka it's rendered separately from the GUI. So we're able to actually grab this image, this texture, this OpenGL texture, and then pipe it to OBS. So even if you have the GUI visible, it won't be captured by OBS. That's the hope anyways. But I'm working on other runners as well so that you are able to, like PNG tubers. There was a request for Anochi 2D support. I'll have to think about that. I was working on live 2D support, so all the 2D-esque things. And then there are other requests for Make Human. So Make Human is the Unreal thing. I don't know. I think Make Human looks very uncanny, but you know, some people like it, I guess. Assets. Yeah, it's basically for making humanoid characters. And as you can see from this image, it's very cursed. But some people like it, I guess. It kind of freaks me out. But I don't know. Like I honestly, I don't know if this is me just turning into a degenerate, but I think if you gave me a choice between like a 3D model that's trying to look like a real person and an anime model, I think I would probably take the anime model. Because it's very difficult to approximate a real human being, right? Right, because real human beings, one, they're not completely symmetrical, right? Like if you were to look at a completely symmetrical human being, you'd be like, what the heck is wrong with them, right? Whereas an anime model, you're like, okay, well, you know, they're clearly not a real person, so who cares? You know what I'm saying? So you don't get that uncanny valley effect, because there's no way that the anime model is a real person. You know, I hope that's not a controversial take. Anime characters are not real people. I think honestly, if I had to choose between like making Pokemon real or making like anime characters from my favorite anime real, I'd probably just take the Pokemon. Pokemon, pretty cool. It's in the name, they're pocket monsters. You wouldn't have that kind of weird uncanny valley effect because you know they're not trying to be human. They're clearly some sort of monster, but they're cute for the most part. Maybe Deoxys is kind of mind-bending. I'm not super up to date on any Pokemon past Generation 3. Like I did play, what's the one before? No, I did play Sword and Shield, yeah. So I played Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Emerald, and Ruby. And then I played Pokemon Sword, I think. And those are the only Pokemon games I've beaten. I played a lot of Pokemon Yellow. And also Pokemon Purple, but that was a ROM hack on one of those weird hacked cartridges. 50 games in one cartridge, but you cannot save on any of them. Because when you're talking to technologically illiterate parents, they're like, oh, what a deal. 50 games in one must be good. All right. So let's start doing this stuff. So most of this stuff seems okay. I think I'll need to start splitting by this. So this is the split character, right? Because I'm going off of this thing here. We separated by an and. Where? Yeah, see, so there's no, it actually inserts spaces, which is kind of unexpected and possibly also bad, I think. Let me think. We can just logger info really quickly. Packet, get string from UTF-8, and then give that a go. So we'll start. I'll need to copy my IP to my clipboard. We'll start listening for data, and then I'm not going to show you my IP address. Sorry. So that's... Don't say it out loud, you dummy. 192.168.0.1. That's an inside joke for all you degenerates. All right. Oh, geez. Okay. It's very laggy now because we're running into print spam. So did that work or no? It did not work. Okay. Huh. So I'm not able to request version 2 data, but It is freaking me out though. Whenever I run the tracker, it gives me like this really weird 3D model that approximates my face. But I think it's because my mouth, I have a kind of a small mouth, uwu, and like the 3D model mouth is just freaking me out. Because honestly, it is very accurate to how my face is moving, except like it looks a bit too excited. So excited for Tuesday, official showing of the story of Sonic Frontiers. What the hell? Hey boy, you got a pretty mouth. I apologize. Not really. Wonder, can we start listening again? No. Wait, maybe. Oh, look at that. We can start listening again and then kill it. That's pretty cool. This is actually way more stable than the OpenCFace implementation. Switch Windows for Ubuntu. I saw that actually. That's weird. That's weird. Send data version v2. Am I not sending that? Send data version v2. See, this is something I don't understand. Is what the heck is this? Is this what I actually need to send? Like, I'm sending this as UTF-8. Yeah, but once Windows starts really screwing me, I'll switch probably to honestly probably Fedora. I like Fedora. DNF is pretty sick, and it does kind of sync up with my job because I mostly work with RHEL based systems. It's either going to be Fedora or Debian. I like Debian as well. No Arch. Arch is very niche, but it's one of those things where the internet's kind of lies to you, right? Like everyone tells you, oh, I use everyone uses Arch, but no, honestly, no, most people don't actually use Arch. Arch is actually extremely niche. It's a hobbyist system at best. You know, if you want to actually get stuff done, you use a stable distro. You know, probably the most controversial take I've said this stream. Don't worry, there are more on the way. Distro, the stream like there was a sensor. I haven't dropped any frames, so it's not my fault. Fedora. So I'll probably switch to either Fedora or whatever the rolling release for Debian is. So Fedora is like also, Fedora is bleeding edge, but I mean, I use Fedora at work, so I'm very familiar with it. Debian, I like Debian. I run all my servers on Debian usually. Fedora is a great one. Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I've been using it to make money for 5 years. So I'm very familiar with the idea of Fedora. I use it on my work computer. Only problem is that the Fedora repos are very slow. And that's fine, because I don't update all that often. Now, I'm wondering why this is not working. Put packet. Do I need to do anything after this? Sends a raw packet. Something doesn't seem right here. Kill this. No scripts. This is packet peer. Packet peer. Put packet. Yes. Sends a raw packet. I'm not. If you add the string, blah, blah, shown below, the values of the blend shape parameter will be separated by an ampersand. Ampersand. Send data version. Is that not true? I have some stuff to DNF to make the downloading go faster. I don't remember. I don't really do too much stuff the entire update. Like honestly, I'm still on Fedora 34, so even though I think 37 is coming out, so I'm about to be out of support pretty soon. Yeah. Alright. Turn this back on. No, it's still not giving me. Still not giving me the ampersand. Why is this not working? Why is this not working? So this is the string I need to send, isn't it? No? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe, can I just send this? Like, I'm assuming I have to send it like this, right? With the identifier because otherwise anyone could just kind of mess with the connection. I forgot what the commands were though. Oh, you know, you could just Google it. That's the secret to anything programming related. Is just Google it, right? So DNF, make DNF faster. OS Technics, I suppose. Give me the Reddits. Give me the Reddit post. I can't recommend fast mirror. It's actually a misnomer. Closest mirror. Oh, that's probably fair. I don't know. There's a few things. Some of these I actually recognize. It doesn't matter. I don't know. When you're talking to somebody who only updates their system like once a year, it doesn't matter. Okay, so send data version 2. Let's see if this actually works. Maybe I also need to send the delimiter as well. I'm gonna be honest, did not work. Stop. Give me this. I wonder if it's like the instructions are out of date as well. It's very possible. Start. The face is freaking me out. I don't know. I'm sending the correct command, but I guess I need to look at how other people are doing it. Like I'm not able to, the character string. By UDP, if you send the character string, blah, blah, blah. I feel like this is not correct. Tutorial. I don't need any of this. Well, I'm thinking of going back to Godot. When I try to download something on Arch, I have to update the system again in order for it to work. Like it doesn't download until I update the repos and it works. Oh, that's kind of how it works everywhere except for like RHEL systems, right? Because RHEL systems bundle it for you. So you need to fetch updates and then it lets you see what the potential updates are. Whereas, you know, if you use DNF or whatever, you fetch the updates and then it's queries, it asks you if you want to download those updates in the same command. So it's just a nice to have, right? So it's very similar to doing a sudo apt update, right? As far as I understand in Arch. I'm not an Arch expert. Whereas I know in Fedora, DNF update just downloads all the repo updates and then asks you if you want to update afterwards, which makes sense. Yeah, okay. Honestly, I don't know how to... Something doesn't seem right here, but I don't know what. So we'll comment this out for now. So to do, this is not working for some reason. So we'll just keep everything as this. This is the standard delimiter. So packets delimiter, or blend shape delimiter, I guess. Blend shape delimiter. And then there's three other ones, or four other, three other ones. Yes, I was right the first time. So there's the blend shape delimiter, that's the important one. Then there are, one. To do, change this to ampersands like that when to packets to IFM. Head packet ID. So that is whatever I put here. So this is equals head hash or pound signed, depending on how old you are. Crossword maybe. So right eye, left eye. Nope. So that's right eye, left eye. IID. Get that a paste. So right eye. We need to check to see if we run into that prefix, and then we strip it, and then proceed to split the remaining message by commas. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy. Pretty sensible way of doing things, except for the, you know, the fact that this is very, very slow. I'm surprised actually by how popular IFM is, iFacial mocap is, even though the format is just bad. I think I'm trying SFML or SDLT, but depending on my less knowledge, I think I should just practice more. I think you should just practice more. The biggest thing is just getting used to the, you know, just the entire environment. or at least making something and then making upgrades to that something. Right, that's kind of the nature of programming. It's just doing something over and over again, and then eventually you figure out a good system for it. Try fishing. Your high school has a fishing club? That's pretty wild. I'm familiar with fishing. I'm okay at it, I guess. Or I guess I'm okay at, I don't know how to describe it, just regular fishing, pond fishing, where you go to like a pond or a lake and just sit down, cast, you tie your knots, get some bait, cast, and then just kind of sit around. But of course, everywhere near me is all catch and release. I've been fly fishing once, and I found that to be extraordinarily uncomfortable. But that might be because fly fishing prefers, or favors, I should say, taller people, right? Because when you're fly fishing, you're standing in the middle of a river or whatever. Or maybe it's just because I get really nervous around water, but you're just getting continuously buffeted by the stream, and then just random things that may or may not be running into you. And then after that, you're like completely soaking wet. It's not really a great time, in my opinion. It's a lot more active than just regular fishing. Want to catch big fish and eat their organ system? I think you want to go deep sea fishing, or maybe just fishing on the open ocean. Sounds pretty sick. I don't know. I feel like fishing is more of like an old person's activity, because you don't really need to do that much. Like it's mostly just like a lot of knowledge about how to set up your fishing rod, and then you just kind of hang around and drink beer, which is, that's a pretty good day, all things considered. It gives you an excuse to day drink, which is, fair enough. I can't say I have not done the same, except I don't try to come up with an excuse. I just go for it. That's probably one of my biggest reasons why I like living by myself. Is like, I don't know, like I can day drink if I want to. What are you gonna do about it? Alright, let's see. So we have our IFM data that we set here. IFM set head rotation, position, right eye rotation, left eye rotation, and then blend shape. So we don't really need any of that stuff. But then here in apply, what we can do is interpolation data. How am I doing it in OpenSea What do you mean? When the nice water sun going by and sharks near, it's a good time. I've never seen like a real shark, like a real wild shark. I feel like those are pretty rare. Pretty rare. I don't live near the coast anyways though, so maybe that's it. I've also never been like ocean fishing, I guess. As mentioned before, I'm gone fishing at lakes, and I've done fly fishing once. Sharks are saltwater creatures generally, so you don't see too many of them unless they're dead when you're fishing in freshwater. Interpolation data. I guess I don't get the updated time, from IFM. That's fine. All right, so this is something I do want to update, is the update values function. I don't actually want to have a big mega function for this. You know what? I think I do need to refactor this immediately. No. Okay. All right, let's do it. So we can do this. Oh, geez. So we have, this is a helper. All it does is it sets the target values to the new values. All right, well, that's pretty easy to do, I think. Yeah, that's probably okay. Let's try it. Let's give it a try. So interpolation data, bone translation target value is equal to IFM data. So this is your head rotation, head position, yeah. Want to save up some money and get a better laptop. Then save up a PC. I look at my laptop screen. I love a lot of space. A lot. I too love a lot. They are my favorite type of animal. Oatmeal a lot. Do you care about this a lot? Look at this. What a cute animal. My favorite kind of a lot is just the default a lot. One of the one of the many things in the English language that lots of people get it wrong for whatever reason. But even then, like a lot is is not very. I'm failing to think of any other term other than cultured, but maybe it's just professional, I guess. That's probably the better term. Bone rotation target value. IFM data head rotation. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, for the first year that I was streaming, I streamed off of a laptop, so not so bad. And I didn't even have like a fancy mic. I just had a somewhat cheap, it still wasn't like a cheap microphone, but it was, I don't know, it was like $90. Really meant for podcasting. And I just kind of had it in front of my keyboard, so I couldn't even see what I was typing. Basically one of those like Blue Yeti mics, right? But it was by Audio-Technica instead. Because I don't know, I have a lot of Audio-Technica stuff. I've never bought anything from them that was bad, so I was like, you know what? Might as well, right? Hail corporates, etc., etc. Yeah, I might have to take up streaming though for a little bit because I do need to RMA some parts from my current PC. I know which one of my RAM sticks has a flipped bit. How unfortunate. So we'll see what support gets back to me with. Left gaze. IFM data left eye rotation. Yeah, and these are all vector 3s. Yeah. Hate seeing the Windows 11 laptop's IP processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Oh my, it costs $400. Yeah, I mean those are pretty bad processors, right? Like honestly, if you can, I wish Apple made like cheaper laptops, because honestly, the M1 processor pretty sick. The M1 processor is more powerful than most people's phones actually. Like it's a beast. Big fan. Big fan. If only Apple would open up their ecosystem to like regular tooling. But I know why they don't, right? It's so that you know, they have a stranglehold on everything that you can or cannot do, which is unfortunate. Let me see. So, brow upper, brow lower. I think I can kind of. I can kind of cheat for some of this stuff. I think. I just need to find whatever the heck I'm looking for instead of this data packet. And actually, this data packet isn't even accurate, right? Like, this is the most accurate one. I think this online documentation is out of date. Jaw open. So is a jaw open or mouth lower down? Mouth close. Okay, so we have mouth close. Okay. So interpolation data. I don't have any blink stuff right now, but we'll think about it. Mouth open. I actually don't know. Let me check again. So this laptop can program be able to play Sonic. Is it like is it a Zoomer thing to be into like a specific fandom nowadays? Like I used to just be into like give me some sort of computer game, and I'm okay with it. But I'd like to blast some baddies, or like that new Sonic game looks fun or whatever. But who cares? I don't know. Yeah, because I know Toho is somewhat niche. Sonic, somewhat niche. Don't know. Maybe I'm just noticing a pattern where there may or may not be one. Alright, I'm looking for mouth open, but maybe it's just mouth close. I don't know what is mouth roll upper. Dimple, mouth upper, mouth close. It might be mouth close. Mouth lower down, I don't know what that means. Jaw left. What's jaw open and mouth close? What's the difference? Jaw open, mouth close. Suppose I will need to make a note of that. So it's mouth closed and jaw open. Yeah. Mouth closed, jaw open. Mouth closed, jaw open. Mouth close. Mouth close versus jaw open. To do, figure out which to use. Mouth open or jaw open. Yeah. Mouth closed, jaw open. Try to make my character move with some improved codes. Yeah. Alright, take it easy. Thanks for stopping by. IFM data, blend shapes, mouth close, I think, yeah, okay, and we can assume that it'll be a float. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Probably, I don't know. Or maybe it should be mouth closed, or like 100, or 1 actually. 1.0 minus this value. Maybe. We'll figure it out. Or maybe like these things are not even compatible. I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll think about it. So let me see. Mouth wide. Do we have anything like that? Or is that something I just need to figure out as well? Because I know that if I had a perfect sync model, wouldn't it be too hard? I think perfect sync just has these blend shapes defined on it, so you can apply all of these one-to-one. But maybe this is not feasible. Tongue out, brow down, eye wide, mouth upper up, mouth press. The heck is mouth right? What's the difference between jaw right and mouth right? What the heck is happy happy? So I see that there's eye wide. Maybe there's like mouth smile. So mouth smile or mouth, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe we can add mouth left and mouth right together and then hope it's good enough. Mouth left, 0, 0. Oh, geez. 0, and then plus IFM data, blend shapes, get mouth right, and then use a default value there. Maybe, I don't know. It makes sense to me, I guess. Just put this on another line just so it's slightly easier to read. All right. Do we have blinking? Do we have that data? I look in. Look up. Look in? Wait, huh? Okay. Cheek squint, eye squint. No, squinting is more like a type of thing that you do with your eyes. This doesn't really refer to your eyelids. Eye blink, yes. Eye blink left, eye blink right. Yeah. Okay. So, interpolation data, left blink target value is equal to IFM data. Grab this, and I don't know, we'll set everything to zeros. We'll zero everything out just for now. What is this? IFM data blend shapes, that's right, blend shapes. Yeah, okay. So interpolation data, right blink. So this should be okay, maybe. I might have these backwards. There's a lot of testing involved with this. Eyebrow stuff we don't care about. But we have bone rotation, bone translation, left gaze, right gaze. No, hold on. Translation, rotation, left gaze, right gaze, left blink, right blink. Then mouth open, mouth wide. I think that's fine, question mark, maybe. And then, let me see, how is OpenSea Face doing this? I shouldn't need a custom update. That might be a bug. Is this a bug? This might, almost certainly is a bug. Oh yeah, it definitely is a bug. Okay, well, it's a bug in terms of like, logically, who should be handling what. Yeah, okay. So we'll do model, custom, update. And then this is expecting the interpolation data. Yeah, there's no reason to do it like so. This is an extraneous call. Okay. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is take out a model from here entirely. So it's just interpolation data plus the extra. So let's give this a try. Let's load in a different model. Lucia, pretty good. There you have it. And then we can start. Mouth open. Non-existent function interpolates in base nil. So I wonder why this is so messed up though. Mouth open, mouth open, mouth open. What do you mean? Mouth open. I set it to the target value, didn't I? Yeah. No? Oh, you know what? I didn't. Target value. That's right. Target value. That's one thing where Godot, it may or may not actually be strongly typed. Like this is something that makes me doubt whether or not Godot is strongly typed or not. And hold on, is my bot here? Yeah, there we go. We're just checking. Because interpolation data, right here, mouth open should be equal to an interpolation object, which is one of these, but I was actually able to set it to a primitive type, aka whatever this vector 3 is, right? Mouth close is a vector 3. Or actually, no. What the heck? That shouldn't have worked at all. Yeah? Mouth close? Yeah, what the heck? How did this get set to a transform object? That's wrong. So here, this is fair. Then I can start, no, actually stop the tracking. It doesn't matter really. Presets. Licia. Start. Eyes are closed. That's fine. Then we'll go back to here. Oh, geez. It's kind of working. I have the values backwards. Mouth values are correct, but it's also... Oh, I see. I see. It's actually based off of where my iPad is. All right, so the eye values are backwards. Mouth values are kind of messed up. I don't really get how they map. So here's me. I'm actually looking directly at my iPad now. So the eye values are reversed. I can kind of, if I flicker my eyes really quickly, I can see it. It's not matching up. Okay. Look at that. We kind of have IFM working though. Look at that. All right. Kill this for now. So let's do this. Okay, so the blinking was reversed. So this should actually be 1, 1. Mouth open values, I'm still a little unclear as to how those work. Load in this. You know what? I should have... This is something else I should do is set this as default. That should actually be under like presets or something. Start tracking. Start, and then we'll take a connection whenever it's available. It's still backwards? How is this possible? Eh? Did I not save this? Oh, this needs to be 1 minus this. Yeah, okay, I see, I see. And also we do need to stop logging every single packet because that's killing performance for no reason. So this needs to be 1 minus this value. This should be 1 minus this value. I think, probably. Mouth open values, I'm still not 100% sure as to what those should be. But this one, that's not so bad. It's kind of hard to check for myself. It looks about right though. I'm trying to look up and, okay, hold on. I just need to grab the, I'm just holding my iPad in front of myself now. Mouth values are not as expected. I don't know. See, this is where I need someone to tell me. But it's always kind of hard when you're solo. So I'm trying to flicker my eyes. So I'm looking up right, up left. Oh no, hold on. All right. We can adjust some of these values on the fly. So it looks like I'm looking to the right. I'm not actually looking to the right, but that is where I put my tracking device. So model eyes, use raw eye rotation. All right, that's horrendous, but that's okay, I guess. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's probably not good. It's cool how this has a IFM at the very least has like dimple tracking. Yeah, so I can see that the tracking is slightly delayed by Well, it's slightly delayed and also reversed. So this is... Okay, so I need to mirror on the y-axis needs to be mirrored. Well, y-axis and z-axis does not need to be mirrored. Okay, so everything except for z-axis needs to be mirrored. Gotcha. And then something about the eye rotation is just ultra messed up. I'm not sure. So this head position. So here we can just do this. So the X needs to be mirrored. Y needs to be mirrored. I'm going to pour myself another drink. I'll be right back. We're back. What's the average alcohol percent of wine? I thought wine was about like 10%. Yeah. Average alcohol content. Yeah, there we go. Google's listening to me. Oh, actually, there we go. 11.6. That's how much this mead is. 11.6. Interesting. So this is about equivalent to drinking wine. But at least for me, it's more palatable. I think wine is not my favorite kind of alcohol to drink. But it's what most people drink. Oh, okay. Almost forgot I need to do it like this. There we go. So this is pretty accurate, at least to how I'm moving my head. I can assure you that my eyes are not doing my eyes are not like rolling around in my head like that right now. I am looking directly at the camera. But no. Let's ping some. Let's see who is. There was at least one person on my Discord who was doing IFM stuff. Oh, I got pinged on Godot as well. Who pinged me? Let me see. Okay, I was answering a few questions. I'm also curious as to who linked my OpenSea Face GD thing somewhere. It used to be dead, but now there's a few more people looking at it, which is kind of weird. Single API surface. Passing data in, out. rest of only those. Yeah. All right, let me see. Oh, I guess they're not on. I won't ping them. That's fine. So I do need to figure out. I do need to figure out the eye rotation stuff, because I'm not sure where the Z comes into play. The Z part seems a bit weird. Let me see. VRM model. I'm gonna stop tracking on my iPad. There. Because I'm sure there's something I'm missing here, right? I'm absolutely sure there's something I'm missing. I'm not sure as of right now. Right, because these are for the clamping values. Custom update, that's fine. How did I do rotation? So there's the... Or I wonder what values I'm even getting, right? Okay, I should just be printing these out. Yeah. So we have the... Actually, yeah, all of these are just locked, right? And then these should be toggleable, but right now they're not. Let's see. Very tasty. You know, it's one of the things I remember someone telling me about how this liquor store near me actually carried mead with an M. And I just kind of remembered it like randomly. I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's check. I had to look around the store, but then I found it. Oh, it's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. It's like that. One of my favorite types of alcoholic beverages. Anyways, these are blend shape parameters, which is probably, well, actually, no. The right eye, these are Euler angles. Here, I only use your X and Y rotation, so it's possible I do need to flip these around. Or maybe like even on the the OpenSea face side, I should be flipping these around. So I don't need to do any flipping here, right? Yeah, it's possible, like, what I need to do here is, like, I don't need to use the Z value. Okay, hold on. Hold on. How do I read your gaze value here? I remember there's something weird that I have to do here. And then everything else is kind of based off of that implementation. Oh, hello, Rogue Nation. How are you? Hi, I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. Streaming a bit earlier than I usually do. Mostly because I may or may not have stuff I need to do later on today. How are you? Right now I'm working on implementing eye facial mocap tracking so that I have something like a solid update that I can tag against, so I can release another alpha build of vPupper, which is the new name of the face tracking thing, right? So this is what I have so far, at least for the eye facial mocap stuff. So this is based off of iOS tracking. So you're going to see the duck looking off to the right. That's because my iPad's off to the right. So I've started tracking on my iPad. Start this. I'm curious actually as to how the iPad knows I'm looking at it. So the eyes are super messed up right now, but the head rotation is pretty accurate, honestly. And then here we can turn off raw eye rotation so the eyes are slightly more constrained. Oh, you know what? I need to flip the eyes as well. Yeah, but actually, the iPad is way better at detecting blinks. 100% than OpenSea Face. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose on stream it's very obvious. So the duck is looking in one direction, but the 3D model is looking in another direction. Mouth values, I'm still also kind of confused as to how those are calculated. It's possible that IFM is not giving me a value from 0 to 100 as it says in the documentation. Because it does say that these are blend shape values. Like the blinking is very, very accurate. So if I do this, you can kind of see it wiggle. Go to Couldn't Sleep. Big shout out on Nova's Discord to you or on Ren. Oh, did you? I don't really check in too much on other people's Discords, to be honest. I suppose that's a good thing. It runs Q&A there. It runs on iPad. Yep. Well, it runs on iPad or any iOS device. I believe it's what a lot of people use for face tracking. I'm trying to keep it so the 3D model here is looking forward, but actually what you see on the duck is actually what's being rendered, or actually is actually where I'm looking. I don't know. Is there a thing here in Nova's Discord where I have most things muted? I'm not sure. Yeah, Nova's done a really good job of doing the entire networking thing. They branch out to other devs and whatnots. It's something I just don't care about, honestly. And good on them for being good at it. Alright, so I've stopped tracking, by the way, because it's freaking me out, unless I just hold the iPad in front of my face. But yeah, I'm trying to... Is Ren in Nova's Discord, by the way? Is that what you're referring to? There's too much information that's missing from your statement, so I'm trying to guess, but I probably should not be doing that. Let me see. It's possible I'm doing something wrong here under puppet traits. So I'm already... You know what? Yeah, I probably should be taking... I don't know. Let me think. So the apply movement... I mean, that seems right, actually. That seems correct enough. Yeah, we go X, Y, Z. So X is on the right axis, Y is on the up axis, and then Z is pointing backwards, which is the only kind of weird thing there. Which means that this is correct. We'd still need to flip X and Y. Yeah, Nova's Discord helped a friend gain 50 additional followers. Yeah, they are. I keep forgetting that Nova is a. I'm not actually sure. I really do need to get into the habit of just referring to everyone as they. It's too difficult to keep track of everyone's genders. But their Discord is, or they've done a very good job of pushing viewers to other people, which is, you know, it's neat. I've been busy doing my own thing. I like work stuff. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Then I have to do some recompilation with S390X architecture, aka mainframes. Although, I suppose I am happy to report that I am considered indispensable yet again, which is hilarious. think the eye rotation needs to be cut down, but I'm not sure what values I'm even supposed to be expecting. Yeah. How many... Actually, now we're talking about Discord followers, by the way. Or Discord members, I should say. Unless you're talking about, like, followers in terms of, like, Twitch followers. I think I've also had, like, a weird uptick in followers, which is somewhat unexpected. I'm not sure where that came from. Also, thank you very much, anonymous viewer, for the follow. Yeah, I think Rogue Ren, made a Reddit post, and then now just it's like random Reddit people streaming in for whatever reason, which is neat. Oh, what was I checking? I was checking the amount of Discord members, but that's not what we were talking about. To each their own. I've been dozing off of work again today. 5 hours before I have to log in. 5 hours before you have to log in? Before? Honestly, I'm usually about like 30 minutes late to work, but then no one cares. Oh, hello, Neurodivergent Cheesecake. Thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. And thank you for the 1 bit. Glad to be here. Thank you, thank you. I'll be sure to use your 1 bit to help pay for server costs. Because there is technically a website up. I just need to redo the DNS. Ever since the project name changed. Yeah, but what I'm working on right now. So OpenSea face tracking, that's the same tracking that's being used for this application, OpenSea face GD. This is the rewrite called the Virtual Puppet Projects, aka VPupper. May or may not have seen it on GitHub and or Reddit or whatever. Here is the tracking thing, iFacial mocap. This is a fairly popular app used on iOS. It uses Apple's fancy AR whatevers. So my iPad is off to my right. So the duck is going to be looking all the way to my right, but then the 3D model here is going to be looking forward. So I have the values. I'm able to capture them. Now I just need to figure out... It looks really weird because I can't look at my... I can't look at this model. I need to look at my iPad. My iPad's off on my far right. But... So like the head tracking is good. Mouth tracking is kind of scuffed because it doesn't apply fast enough, and the eye tracking is just all kinds of messed up. Because if I turn on raw eye tracking, so raw eye tracking is actually what I use for OpenSea Face GD, or just OpenSea Face in general, because I think it looks better. But here you can see that we've gone full demon mode, which is, you know, it's technically a feature, I guess. I'm not sure why that's happening though, but we don't. Every model, every valid VRM model should have like max eye values built in. So you, and then most programs don't actually allow you to turn those off, but I do. Oh, the networking sleuths 4:30 right now. Oh, so like 04:30 or like 4:30 p.m. You never know. That's one of the weird things about international time is like, are we using the 24-hour clock or the 12-hour clock? So you accept both coffee and Libra Pay. Well, that's because like people were like, how do I send you money? I'm like, I don't know. Like, don't send me money, please. But then people like threw subscriptions at me, and I was like, all right, well, I guess like, instead of having Amazon take 50%, I might as well like set up something so like people don't. I'm not like throwing away money, right? Like that's just irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Neurodivergent Cheesecake. Oh, hello, the Witch Doctor 9. Are you related? Did you cast some sort of swamp magic on the cheesecake to make it neurodivergent? That was a very bad joke. I apologize. It sounded way better in my head. But yeah, I'm testing out IFM, iFacial mocap. I think the documentation is outdated. But right now I'm just trying to figure out how to correlate like the OpenC face data that I'm using here for my old OpenC face GD program, which is also, by the way, implemented here in the new vpupper whatevers. You know, find the project here on GitHub. It's free and open source. Once I get this fully implemented, and by this I mean iFacial mocap, I will get a new alpha release out, probably an alpha 2. We'll call it alpha 2. I think that sounds pretty good. That will have IFM support, iFacial mocap, plus a few other improvements that are mostly beneficial for like people who do packaging, whatever. That joke's are on very low bar for a lot of stuff. Well, you've come to the right place, because most of what I'm telling you is like completely straight off the cuff, off the top of the dome piece, stream of consciousness, because I am somehow able to talk and think about programming at the same time. So programming is okay. Mostly the the accompanying commentary is what suffers. I think these values are wrong. But actually no, they're right, but they're I don't know, actually. I'm getting nervous. These look wrong, but they're... you know what? These need to be divided by 100. Yes. Okay. I think I got it. Hold on. I clicked on the wrong thing. I use was it a Logitech G600? I think that's what it's called. Logitech G600. My favorite mouse. Is that the MMO mouse? Yeah, one of these. These are pretty sick. All right, that was showing off my my address. Let's not do that. But sometimes when you see me like switch to a wrong tab, that's because I'm clicking on it with my mouse and then also like squeezing with my thumb. I like having a numpad on my mouse. It's pretty sick. All right, so set head position. I think the head stuff and the rotation and everything relating to the head position stuff, I think is okay. This stuff, I think I need to divide by 100 because it's coming to me as like whole numbers, which is not what I'm expecting. Actually, a lot of this IFM stuff, like if we're speaking freely, it's not very good because it doesn't give you values in a consistent format. But yeah, once I get an Alpha 2 out, it should be hopefully easier to use this on Gen 2 for all the Gen 2 users out there. And then also hopefully Flatpak should have a few other things built in, because that's, you know, I did write a lot of libraries that help support this project. And I was able to break out a lot of them as well. So like being able to pass flags and then also read feature values. Feature values is still in the works, but that's pretty easy to do. Passing flags, for whatever reason, there's not too many libraries out there that do that, or at least no one like open sources their stuff, which is kind of mind-boggling, right? Like I get why like people don't open source their stuff. It's like, oh, like my code is embarrassing. But here's the dirty little secret: is that everyone's code is embarrassing. You know, for any sufficiently large code base, you know, it's gonna be garbage. So who cares? At least that's how I think about it. Might be the wrong way to approach life, but here we are. I think this is still wrong, by the way. I'm dividing the eye tracking values by 100, but I think it might still be wrong. You know what? No, it's totally right. Hold on. I think I got it. I've done it. Accidentally. Just off a random guess. Oh, it's beautiful. The mouth is still kind of borked, but look at that. So okay, so let's see. I'm gonna look up to my left. And then because I intentionally mirror everything, it'll be like this. And I'm still looking at the screen. Ah, he's done it. Now I just need to figure out the mouth. Grrr. Let's go. And then we'll squint a little bit. I think I still need to figure out why the interpolation is messed up on the squinting. Like the interpolation looks good on the, I'm wiggling my eyes. I'm rolling my eyes in a circle. And because of that, I can't actually see, but if anyone is watching, are my eyes rolling in a circle? I think they are. As you might expect, it's kind of hard for me to tell because I am not able to look at the screen. But it looks like they're kind of rolling, in, at least in the four corners. The only way that I'm kind of able to unfocus is if I squint my eyes like this, though. I think they're okay. It's not bad. I actually kind of like that. All right, so let's figure out the mouth stuff. So my mouth value is like I'm opening my mouth. Let's pick up my iPad again. This thing is heavy. I'm not gonna lie. This thing is heavy. Or at least it's a little too big for me to hold up with one hand. But I'm gonna do it anyways. Is my mouth fully extended? Is my mouth scrunched? I'm puckering my lips. When I pucker my lips, it actually looks like the mouth looks better. But yeah, I don't know. Thank you very much for the 1 bits, but I don't expect payment for any services rendered unless you're specifically paying for one feature, and then in which case we can talk about it. You know, I think technically, if I want to be sponsored by JetBrains, and excuse me for 1 second, gotta turn up my mic. Sorry, had to cough. Yeah, I think I technically am sponsored by JetBrains, so because of that, I'm not allowed to accept monetary orders for an explicit project that is also under the JetBrains sponsorship thingy, which is why like you can only really, you know, donate for just like things in general. I do write a lot of Godot libraries that are more or less generic, like OBS WebSocket. I have a Spout 2 integration. What else do I have? I don't know. Everything that's on my GitHub. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's think about the mouth stuff, though. I wonder if the mouth stuff is just not strong enough to be applied, perhaps. So, mouth open. I am passing mouth open, and these are the mouth wide values that aren't even applied at all. Maybe it's mouth close? Maybe it's this mouth close value that's wrong. So mouth close 2, and then whenever we... Wait a minute. No. These should be float values, and then here, question mark. We interpolate it, and it's interpolated at the standard amounts. Mouth open here. And then the min-max whatnot. Maybe this should be like 10. That doesn't make any sense though. Why would everything else be on a scale from 0 to 100 and then just mouth open be on a scale from 0 to 10? But I'm not getting a very strong reaction from it, which is the problem. Load me in. Sorry for my terrible English. Don't worry. Or don't worry, my English is good enough to pick apart meaning from pretty much nothing. I mean, that's pretty much my job anyways. That's actually kind of how I grew up, which is why I'm actually like really bad at understanding spoken English. My parents didn't actually speak English to me when I was a kid. If you speak in their kind of like weird, messed up mix of Cantonese, Mandarin, and English, and plus a little bit of Malay, then I could understand you no problem. All right, so I am going to start tracking here. All right, something's wrong here. I can tell. My mouth is currently closed. When I open it, I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna very slowly open my mouth to full extension. Okay, something broke on the iPad side. Hold on. Hold on, one more time. Mouth closed to full. Back open. Oh, geez. Something is wrong with the iPad? All right, hold on. Let me stop and restart the app. Maybe it's like the app that's having problems. Ooh, okay, hold on. We lost the connection. All right, just restart it. Maybe I also need to restart, manually pull to check to see if the connection is still valid every now and then. But mouth is closed. This slowly open. You know, that's actually really weird. When I do the slowly open in iFacial mocap, it freezes. Or maybe it's because I have my iPad in landscape mode, which is freaking it out. So mouth closed, slowly open. Wait, this is the opposite. Yeah, and something's wrong with the... What? Something's wrong here. Okay. So one, I think it's because of this. I'm gonna reposition my headphones. Honestly, I don't use the headphones that are plugged into my desktop computer. I actually use the headphones that are plugged into my my other computer, my stream monitor, if you will. Okay. So there's something here. I think this is still good. But then it's the mouth close value, which is incorrect. So maybe this should also be 1.0 minus this value. The thing you are running, do I need an iOS device or software from Apple to work on that software from Apple to run it? You do need an Apple device to run it. I think you need a fairly recent one. If you want to use OpenSea Face, it should just work because OpenSea Face just requires a webcam. I am working on a media pipe backend for vPupper here. So under my personal accounts, so we click on me. Hold on. Why can't I get a... All right, we'll just click on me. If you want to see my profile, here it is, GitHub. I wrote the bot, by the way. That's why the bot is so unreliable. There is where is it actually? GDMP, which is something that like I don't understand it, but I don't know. Like there is some sort of bad blood between me and the Godot maintainers, or one of the primary core maintainers. Like they don't trust that I know what I'm doing, which is very strange to me. Because they keep trying to pitch like their build of media pipe, which runs as a completely separate binary, but I'm using this media pipe GDMP. Let's update the branch. It doesn't really matter because the latest commit is from me, by the way. So media pipe is Google's face tracking AI thingy-majig, which handles, in theory, it handles full body tracking and eye tracking at the same time. So if you want to do hand tracking, in theory, with MediaPipe, you only need the single webcam. If you want to do iris tracking, you only need the single webcam. And if you want to do full body pose tracking, you only need the single webcam. But it's also way more complicated to use. But for VPupper, I already have OpenSea Face, which is the current one used here. And we can even load in a different 3D model, one that more people are more likely to use. So this one's kind of scuffed as a result of, I actually don't know how the model was made. This is just one of the test models someone sent me, and I've just been using it sometimes. So, you know, mouth open, it looks okay. Lip syncing is kind of going on based off my microphone inputs, etc., etc. But for IFM specifically, you will need to have an Apple device. That's fairly recent, but it does have the most accurate facial tracking that I've seen in like a commercial piece of software, right? So in a commercial piece of software that is available on commodity hardware, aka like an Apple phone. Yeah. So to say that in just one word, to put that like 5-minute rant in one sentence, yes, IFM is Apple only, but if you want the best face tracking, that's kind of what you need. Because I think MediaPipe is kind of also somewhat unprecise. Godot Pong Rust got 45 stars, so that also need an Apple device. Nope, it just needs a Rust compatible compiler. So we're looking at my GitHub. Do I still put Godot Pong Rust? Oh, I do still put it here. That's true. That's right. No, this just uses Rust. So Rust is available on every single major platform out there. So as long as you're using like a mainstream version of Linux, like nothing that uses Muscle or whatever, who even uses like Alpine Linux, right? Most Apple devices, most modern Apple devices support Rust. And Windows, of course, is compatible with everything, which is why people like Windows. Yeah. So as long as you're using something modern, this will work. I have not updated this in a while. Like you'll notice that this is actually using 9090 preview 0, even though 010 is out. So this is pretty old, but this is also before like a ton of people were even using Godot Rust. So whatever. I don't know. OBS WebSocket is probably the bigger one. Like, check this out. We're actually, or I say we, I'm actually on. Look at that. I'm number 3, baby, on the master branch of OBS WebSocket. I do acknowledge, though, that it's pretty niche to want to be able to control OBS from a Godot thingamajig. Is this OS environment Gen 2? Nope, this is Windows. I like Windows. But have no fear. I am very familiar with Linux. I don't use Gen 2, though. I use mostly RHEL-based environments. Because RHEL is more or less stable, has a big backer behind it, etc., in Red Hat. Which is weird, actually. I've continuously like surprised by the amount of people who don't know who Red Hat is, even though they say that they use Linux. Even though like it's like 70% of the internet uses Red Hat as their base distribution, which is hilarious. All right, so turn this on. Mouth. Mouth is still open. I just kind of like mouth is hanging open like I'm a mouth breather or whatever. But I can tell you right now, my mouth is closed. I'm talking through my lips basically. Something is wrong here. Okay, so let's kill this. What's wrong here? So this should be, this should be 100 minus this. No, this should be 1 minus this. Eh? What? IFM. So here. Yeah, no, these are all divided by. Oh no, no, that's right. Yeah, I divide all of these by 100. Set blend shape. Value to float, because these come to me as values from 0 to 100 as noted here in the documentation, which means that I try to normalize them to a value from 0 to 1 because that's what Godot expects. And then we continue on and then just go kind of backwards, I guess. I don't really have a great word for it. Or maybe it's because mouth closed doesn't even get updated every single frame. Is that it? So maybe this should be... So like if it does not detect that your mouth is like in the process of being unclosed, is that what's happening? I don't know. Like the more I work with this IFM stuff, the more I'm like, man, OpenC Face was actually okay. I thought OpenC Face was pretty bad to start with, but now I'm like, man, at least OpenC Face had like a sensible ordering for all the keys. IFM just kind of sends you keys whenever it feels like sending you keys. All right, this is still backwards. Hold on. Maybe this should be 1. But no, 0 plus is the same as just doing this without subtracting. Actually, this is the blink values as well. This is wrong. What was I changing? It's this. Okay. Mouth closed. Keep it closed. Like so. Something's wrong here. And then this is the hard part about implementing a new tracker, is like figuring out how everything maps. You can't see it, but I'm like dislocating my jaw to open it. We're making like a pog face here. The model's not moving her. All right, there's something here. Okay. It might be like jaw open, but I'm not sure. We can hit it with a logger info. And then just grab this value here. Something I'm kind of worried about is that maybe it's not sending me the data every single time. All right, so run me again. Tracking. Eye facial mocap. Starts. Huh? You can't really see it, but I can see it in the console down here. I'm still not super sure how to make the console show up again. Like, this is a somewhat recent change in Godot 3.5 where they don't use the console to open stuff. My mouth is ultra closed. Huh. I think the value is wrong. What the heck? Like the value only goes from... Oh no, it hit 0.03... No, 0.35. I saw that. And then once it gets too big, then I don't understand how this mouth open value works. Yeah, no, I don't understand how this mouth open value works. Like when I pursed my lips, made a kissy face, basically, it gave me a very high value, which is wrong. This doesn't make sense. I'm dying. I don't understand. I do not understand. How is this giving? Is it not mouth closed then? Eyes look in, mouth, nose near, mouth press. Not familiar. Mouth smile, mouth lower down, mouth smile left, eye wide left, mouth roll upper, mouth pucker. That's the kissy face. Brow upper left, mouth dimple, mouth shrug lower, question mark. Mouth left, eye look up right, mouth funnel, don't know what that means. Mouth dimple left. I do have like a pretty sizable dimple on my right cheek, ooh. Mouth upper up, mouth upper up right, mouth nose sneer right, nose sneer left. Trying to help this friend me learn programming. I can only learn with others, not alone. That's why I'm insisting getting that user here. Have a pleasant time though here. I'm looking forward to next visit. Oh, don't worry. Thank you for tuning in. I am live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, and on Wednesdays from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to be notified, give the channel a follow, and I do have a Discord here. Blah blah blah, etc. etc. But basically, I stream a lot of days a week. And I'm somewhat consistent about it at the very least. I try to be. I'm somewhat less consistent recently because I'm a little bit more busy at work as of right now. But, you know, I think if you want someone who is, you know, at least talking and more or less reading chats, you've come to the right place. If you want someone who's cracking jokes every few seconds, yeah, you know, there's other streamers out there. I try to crack jokes, but that's only if I'm really thinking about it. Most of the time, you're getting whatever is coming naturally to me. But yeah, you know, take it easy, etc., etc. We're in the unfun part of programming right now, which is trying to figure out why my code doesn't work. Even though I mean, this looks like it should be working, but it's possible that I should be using jaw open, not mouth close. So jaw open, maybe, I don't know. That could be more correct. Even though, like, I don't know, it's like it's because the mouth open value when I was printing it out didn't look correct. Oh, well, there we go. Should be using jaw open. What is mouth? What's the difference between mouth closed and jaw open? Because even when I do like my jaw is not moving right now. I'm talking. I'm talking by like opening and closing my lips, like this. So like I'm doing my best to not move my jaw at all. But you can see that the model is interpreting that as like a mouth open, which is weird because my jaw is not moving at all, but it's the blend shape that I'm looking for is jaw open. Now when I open my jaw fully, that's when you really get the movement. See, that's what I'm confused about, is that mouth close, or mouth, what was it, mouth open, mouth closed, I don't know, is not working how I think it should work. I think that's actually like okay. I think that's actually okay. And actually everything is like interpolating as expected as well. Let me, I guess I'll ping whoever, like the singular person who actually cares about IFM support. But you know, because IFM support is something that some people really look for, so. Let me see, what was her name? Count Jurassic Jordan. Or less implemented. What was that? Poppers. Ta-da. Alright, turn this off. So let's push whatever I have. So let's see. Jaw open seems to correspond to the correct values, but then what does mouth close refer to? Something like that. So that's okay. Set offsets, I do need to implement that. Let's do that really quickly. It's pretty simple, I think. And I think I do need to rewrite the OpenCFace stuff. Like, so every time I like rewrite this, I keep running into my old code and I'm thinking like, oh man, like this is garbage. Who wrote this? And I'm like, oh, I wrote this. I'm garbage. Or at least previous me, past you when was not great at whatever they were doing. So let's see. Offsets. Let me see. Translation offset is equal to IFM data head position. Something like that. IFM data head rotation. Offsets. Left eye gaze offset is the IFM data blend shapes. Eye blink left. Something like that. Right, eye gaze offset, IFM data blend shapes get. Can't type right now. I can feel the mead starting to get to me. And I think those are really the two big values that we need for offsets. And then after this, what did I had a list here. Okay, so auto censoring the model. Do you need to have that for new stuff? I think that's important. Periodically re-censoring the model. I think what I'm going to do for that is just, I don't know, probably like every like 10 minutes, just like nudge the sensor back to whatever I think your sensor should be. But I really should make that configurable. Toast notifications is the big one, and then also feature flag reading as part of the kind of arg whatevers is also probably a good idea. But okay, we don't need to do this anymore. I think the offset thing is handled. So let's go back to here, load you back in, tracking, turn on eye facial mocap. I like this, it's a good face. And then I think I can, oh geez. Invalid set index, left eye gaze offset. The value of type floats. Oh, that's eye blink. I'm a dummy. This should be left eye rotation, which is, yeah, because these are all expecting vector 3s. That's right, that's right. Hold on, send me again. One more time. Ah! Once more with feeling. There we go. Send me. All right, beautiful. So honestly, it's really hard for me to determine. But if I do this, censor, no? Center. Huh? What? Set offsets should be set on the... This is using VRM. VRM is using default runner, and then default runner is based off a runner trait, but... is that not what I think it is? Save offsets, UI accept, aka spacebar. Save offsets, sure. Save offsets. Main tracker. Do we not have a main tracker? Is that the problem? Question mark. Oh, it's because I'm not normalizing it based off of the offsets like I should be. That's right. Okay, I gotta think about this. There's a lot of things. I think this is a big thing that still needs to be figured out, but I don't have a good solution. Let's stop hitting myself on the head. Because I think this is okay, like, because this VRM model is not set up to respond to every single blend shape. I think that's fair. I am like consistently impressed though by like how the eyes move. That's actually like really cool. Like this is honestly, this is way better than how OpenSea face tracks. That's amazing. Like I can't really see it because I'm still not holding up my iPad because I don't feel like doing that. But look at that. You can see me look back and forth between like the model, and I'm flickering my eyes left and right so I can see what's displayed on screen and then see what's displayed on my iPad. Whatever's displayed on my iPad, of course, is basically real time, and that's kind of freaking me out as well. I don't really have something to show you. Oh, you know what? I do need to mirror the blink left and right still, and I need to make that configurable as well. Okay. So make that right, make that left. Run me again. ePupper. Tracking. Turn on iFacial mocap. And then turn on iFacial mocap again. That's uncanny, actually. I'm not very good at winking, though. How do people, like, wink as a normal person? How do people wink? Like, when you see me wink on the model, you can also kind of sometimes see, like, the mouth kind of wiggle as well. That's because I kind of have to, I scrunch up my cheek as well as closing my whatever eye it is, which is right now my left eye. I don't know how to wink. Maybe that's something I need to practice. Let's hold this up, actually. Make sure not to knock over my bottle of mead. Not my bottle of mead, my wine glass of mead. Yeah, so this is using raw eye tracking. So I have all the data necessary, I think. Now I just need like a model that can actually incorporate all of the specific values that would be needed, or that can actually accept all the blend shapes, right? So I know that everything from iFacial mocap can be used for a perfect sync model, which would be cool. But right now, I mean, this is looking okay, right? I don't know. Still need to think about calculating the offsets. And then also, if there's other blend shapes available, maybe I need to make those like a taggable thing. I'm not sure if this model actually has eyebrow motion either, but it's not so bad. But yeah, eye facial mocap only has face tracking though, so that's the most of it we can do at this point. Let's turn this off, which means that this gets killed. Stop tracking. Yeah, let's push whatever I have right now, just so people don't think I'm lying though. So virtual puppet project. So this is kind of its own thing. What? All right, so we have a lot of stuff changed. Git restore, assets, VRM models, that's fine. Interpolation data has somewhat changed. Wait, what did I change here in interpolation data? Git diff. That's fine, I guess. I think it's because of the line ending thing, probably. Yeah, it's almost certainly because of the line ending thing. Because I used to have Git set to like transform line endings. So a lot of everything is, at least in the Git repo, is stored as, what is it called? CRLF, is that it? I didn't take a nap today, so I'm a little tired as well. Which is also why I started drinking a bit earlier, because the becoming intoxicated actually wakes me up a little bit, surprisingly. No, that is not something I'm telling myself. No, I'm not an alcoholic. I can stop whenever I want. It does give me like a little bit of a adrenaline boost, and then almost like how coffee works. I think this is okay though. I mean, the UI looks good, I think, question mark. UI looks good, right? So tracking, blah, blah. We don't care about OpenCFace because we're not using it. But here, eye facial mocap probably would be nice to put the name at the very top, as opposed to just forcing you to look at whatever is here. But other than that, address, you know, we have the tooltip, we have the ports. Should only be changed if you know what you're doing. Copy IP to clipboard. Copies your computer's IP address to the system clipboard. Do not show this on stream in all caps, period. And then there's the stop or start, which toggles the tracking on or off. So we can actually start it and then observe that this is actually being used as the main tracker here, which I'm actually pretty proud of how that works. For whatever reason. I think that's okay though. I think that's okay. Let's push that code now. Git restore assets VRM models Alicia. Yeah. You know what? I think this might sound a bit weird, but after like, I don't know. It's like seeing the Alicia model is like almost like a sense of relief at this point. Something I'm familiar with at this point in my life. That might be a bit sad, saying it out loud. It sounded more sentimental in my head. Is this how fans of the Fate series feel when they see their favorite character, Tosaka? I don't know. Is that her name? Girl with pigtails and red shirt, red blouse. I mean, what's the difference between a blouse and a shirt? I've referred to them like as like the same thing, but I've never really thought about it. Anyways, let's send it. Git commit am fix up git rebase interactive head to the last commit. We'll fix it up. Did it in the wrong order. I'm like apparently dyslexic or something. That's something I've actually thought about. It's like whether or not, like, am I actually dyslexic? I don't know. Like with like regular words, I'm okay. I acknowledge that I don't actually read the entire sentence. I just look for like the subject and the verb and then just try to figure out what the sentence is telling me. But like when we're talking about numbers, I'm completely hopeless. I don't know. Is that like a specific type of dyslexia or am I actually dyslexic? I don't know. Anyways, eye facial mocap support. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Now, how this will work with OpenSea face tracking, I'm not sure. That's a bit tougher to think about. But at least all checks are passed, right? So we were able to run all tests and then verify that they actually worked, which is pretty neat. So now on our list of things to do, I phrased that sentence as if I had something else to talk about, but I don't actually have anything else to talk about. I don't know. Let's go to my Discord. Are the remaining things to implement before Alpha 2? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Yeah, there we go. I'm holding my peace right now, ooh. It was like supposed to be, I guess, sexual in nature, but it also sounded somewhat intimidating. Possibly because of the sexual nature of it. But also because peace can refer to two things in the English language. Either like peace as in like we come in peace, as in like non-violence. Please don't release yourself in your peace. That would necessitate cleaning it. Or peace, which is like piecemeal, as in like a piece of the pie, aka slang for weapon. AKA firearm. Pretty good. Alright, let's see. Could you toss me a build RQ? RQ? Question mark. Oh, real quick. UI hasn't really changed from Alpha 1. So like, okay, they're talking about the UI. So what's changed, or what needs to be changed in the UI? What were the big things? PNG two-way support, that's actually not in progress, but I'm gonna keep it up there. Facial expression support, blah. Config file is self-healing, I need to think about that. Hotkey support, still working on that. Webcam picking, that's actually done. Let's get that out of there. Ah! Bleh, don't save it either. Prop tracking, better debug logging, there's no more Linux scripts. Expose generic blend shapes, bleh. CI builds, bleh. Resensor, bleh. Show VR model metadata, bleh. That's not in progress. No one's really talked about it either, but that's nice for me at least. Model config stuff, mic inputs, button groups. I don't really know what this means, so let's get that out of here. Pack, that's already been done. FOV slider, auto blink, might be nice. Maxine face tracking, don't know. I just saw that on the in no T2D's Discord, I was like, you know what, that'd be cool. That could be cool, but I don't know. Reversing how data is applied to certain bones. Yeah, that's a low priority. Multiple pop-ups, that's almost certainly deferred. Wrapping bone names, I think that's something else I could do really quickly. Splash screen, done. Loading into a runner directly, that's compile on an older distro, yeah, that needs to be done, but that can't be done now. Presets should have a little button right next to the name, that's true. Tooltip icons, oh, that's not gonna be done, sorry. Tiles for I don't know, I'll think about it. Maybe I could slap in an icon, even though everything will have an icon. Tiles for presets instead of a list, it could be done, portrait versus landscape mode for pop-ups, I'll have to think about it. Pi installer OS up on Linux doesn't auto close on exit, I'll have to think about it. GUI value should be cached. Pretty sure I'm gonna go over it again, so I don't understand it by myself. You're making this tough for me. Why are you making this so tough for me? It's the same thing. What were the complaints again? Right now I have show pop-ups in landscape mode, and then expose more config values. The UI. What I remember from you. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta use the restroom. Hello, I'm back. Camera turn. Starting the model tracking thing. Doable via. Don't worry, I washed my hands, by the way. App. Camera names are a bit too long. Catch from the end of the names on the menu open, show the full name. Okay. Blend shapes being activatable. I need to think about that. I think that's actually somewhat complicated because I'm not sure how to do. Yeah, okay. So there's a few things that we can still fiddle with here, but we did push everything, right? All right, that's fine. I don't know. We're just going to send it, I guess. Send it. I think this is okay. Eye facial mocap support. Ready for review, and then because I'm an administrator, I'm the only administrator, we're just gonna push it, I guess. Send it. Boom, send it. Sent. Then we will get checkout master and get pull. There we go. No change. Test the new stage things. Stream. FOV is implemented right. Not yet, actually. That's still in progress. What do you think about it? Or I guess new releases, cuts, when there's a significant new feature added, e.g. new tracker, lots of new functionality. (090) stable out when features are completed. Maybe not. May or may not be bug free. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I care so much about FOV. Yeah. What the heck is this? Look at that. Yeah, okay. So it is, yeah. Basically fisheye versus non-fisheye. But we're still on master for now. Enough talking on Discord. Of course, I don't know. I suppose I should make a call for semi-contribution. So like what is preventing people from contributing as well? Because I think working on all these things by myself is tough. But in order to do that, I probably need to like make a Twitter account or something. It's like, this is VPupper. Actually, hold on. Is VPupper a Twitter account right now? Virtual puppet project. You know what? I've never really thought about it. Don't look at my Twitter feed. It's very degenerate. Hold on. We can sign up. Sign in? No, sign up. I don't have an email. You know what? Whatever. We'll keep it for now. That's fine. I would like to make a Twitter account for VPupper though. Actually, can I make a Twitter account for VPupper from my own Twitter account? Move this on a different thing. Is that possible? Add an existing account. Can I make it a new account from my current account and just like manage it as a corporate thingy? Create Twitter. Create a new account, same email. Yes. Creating and managing multiple Twitter accounts. Sure. Maybe it's not possible. Whatever, I don't really care. I'm not big on Twitter. Although I probably should make a Twitter account that like forwards to, because I do control a Gmail account for the website. I don't know. Oh, think about it. I don't have enough email accounts. I don't really want to make one on stream either. It's such a pain. So app manager. Let me see. Flag GZ. Let me see. So if we do want to parse from feature flags, I think that's something that we should do, probably. Because that was one of the big things, right? Like people who are actually doing things, I honestly do prioritize their comments over other people's comments. So let's see. I don't know who's watching, but you know, that's the fact of the matter is, I only have so much time. So people who contribute, I also try to cater towards them. Does everyone start there once and ask for the compile time configurable resource path? Compile time. Compile time. I don't know if that's compile time possible. Based off of feature flags, flags. So let me see. Parse, blah, blah. So we can have a few other things. Should parse feature flags, something like that, right? So true. Something like that, yeah. Yeah, so I can do like feature flag startup stuff. So that'll be based off of the, I don't know actually. What did the compile, or I guess the feature flags in a standard project look like? So yeah, no, whatever, that's fine, we don't care. Features, so custom, comma separated. So they're all comma separated, which means we could just look for features. like that. Okay, so how do we do like OS has feature, right? So it's has feature is the name. Bool has feature. Running a debug build on a certain platform Arch. Refer to the feature tags documentation for more details. Tag names are case sensitive. Mango HUD. Just be good. Extension. Everything at this point is anyways, yeah. So everything is actually technically implemented as an extension, so yeah. Let me see. All right. Feature tags can be used to customize the build process too by writing a custom export plugin. You can always use specify which shared library is loaded and exported in GD native. Yeah, this is one of the many things that is not really like it's mentioned here, but there's no. There's not really like any documentation or examples of how these are used. Well, to think about it, I think the feature thing is pretty easy. FOV, that's going to be deferred, but it is technically available as a PR. The heck is Mango HUD though? I'm not familiar with Mango HUD. Flightless Mango, that's pretty good. Vulkan, an OpenGL library for monitoring FPS temperature, CPU, GPU load, and more. Okay, that's cool, I guess. Maybe I could write something that would, I don't know. Is there a Godot integration with Mango HUD already? Godot Godot Mango HUD. There's some issues on it for sure, but I don't know. What to think about it. I can do the feature flag. That's easy, right? Not too bad. So let's see, parse. So I've already put in should parse feature flags. So by default, we try to parse feature flags, I guess. So should parse feature flags is equal to args get should parse feature flags. Flags. Yeah, something like that. Right, so we always try to use the default value, blah, blah, blah. Right, and we use the default value here, right, because Booleans are primitives in Godot, so they will always have a value associated with them. So right, so if you just were to annotate this with bool, I think that would actually resolve to being false, right? Because you can never have a primitive without a value. There's no such thing as a null pointer primitive. And that's true in pretty much every single language out there, besides like Python, I guess. Python and Ruby, where everything is an object. So parse I guess we need to have like a parse feature flags, maybe? So let me think. Handle feature flags. I keep spelling it wrong as well. So let me see. I mean, it's pretty easy, I guess. So we can define feature flags as being in a very specific format, right? Because we were controlling this. So the file name we don't care about, but we'll always need to have the array because arrays are passed by reference. So let me see. I guess we'll just need to have a function that's like handle Gentoo flags or whatever. And how everything. Extension in the sense that everything is loaded at runtime. Something like that. So let me see. We can have like handle Gentoo. I don't really know what to do for Gentoo. That's the hope. I hope people do that. I hope doing everything like that so you don't need to recompile everything. You just need to use the whatever I provide to you. That's what I hope people do. All right, so I think this is how I'm going to do it, is that you can do something like this, right? So what we can do here is just look for everything that has feature flag. So every single function that has feature flag in it. Something like that, I think. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I just make this non-static, that's fine. It's very similar. Document template for a tracker, so it'll be easy for me to learn. Yeah. That's the thing I need help with. So I wrote everything. I'm not sure which thing is too confusing. I think that's a something about open source projects that not a lot of people talk about, honestly, is that because I wrote everything, right? Like I came up with the design, I came up with all the documentation, so like I'm not really qualified to talk about which things are hard to understand, I guess. That's kind of tough, honestly. All right, let me think. Here, I think I should be able to pass in. Honestly, I should be able to pass in function refs, I think. Something like an array of function refs, and then you just pass in function refs here. Something like that. Yeah, maybe. Add feature func ref, something like that. So this will take in a func ref. Ooh. Yeah, so then we'll have a function ref, something like that. And then we'll just kind of slap all these into here in the app manager. I think that makes sense to me. I'm kind of confused as to why my iPad is not turning a screen off, even though it should be on like a 2-minute timer. So we can do... I don't know. What was this person asking for? Anna CLI? They were asking for... Let me see. Yeah. Nero is working on the website. I kind of wish they were not using my code. My code isn't very good. I hate doing web design. I'm very bad at it. User share pupper. Pupper. So they're doing Gen 2, so that's fine. Gen 2 features. So kind of wondering how I should do this then, because I think there is a good way of doing this, right? Maybe we just return an array of values to be passed, right? Something like that. So we do like an array of key value pairs. I think that might make sense. That might make sense. And then we can do so like region OS specific. So parser add feature func ref. So we can hit it with a func ref. This takes an instance and a func name via string. So this is one of the few things that will 100% be a lot easier to do in Godot 4, because Godot 4 has functions be like first class members, which is nice. All right, there was nothing new here. I regret clicking that button. And then also, I guess, flat pack, right? Flat pack features. I think flat pack is also another one where there's a few people at least looking into it. I just wish they would stop talking about ARM architectures. That's something I can't promise at all. So here we go. Here we go. I think this makes sense. We'll like do parser, blah, 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 add all of this stuff. Add a function ref. Whenever the Godot beta comes out, all of this can be pretty easily refactored, I think, maybe, possibly, hard to say. Flat pack features, something like that, right? Yeah. So at least for Flatpak would need to replace user for app in the checks. So is that the folder? I think I'll need to request a few reviews on some of this stuff. Right, and then we can check for all that other stuff. So we'll do like our appends some sort of dictionary resource path, right? So user share epupper. Maybe? I don't know. We'll just add an additional closing thingamajig there. Actually, no, this is for Gentoo, not Flatpak. Flatpak requires something slightly different. Append, blah, blah. App share, maybe? App share. And then all of this stuff in flag GZ. We'll call this, and then args. Let me think. Let me think. So we'll have all these function references, and then we need to call each one of them in sequence. So I don't usually use a func ref, so I need to look up how these work. Func ref, sure. Reference to a function in an object. In GDScript, functions are not first-class objects. This means it's impossible to store them directly as variables, return them from another function, or pass them as arguments. However, by creating a func ref using GDScript func ref, the GDScript func ref function, a reference to a function in a given object can be created, passed around, and called. It's missing the Oxford comma. Okay. The call func, blah, blah, no args. It doesn't really matter because we're setting these all on a singleton, so we don't need to check to see if it's valid or not. And actually, we are just calling it immediately anyways. So actually, I think what we could do is like parse the the feature functions for the current whatever. I think that makes sense. It's kind of weird, but I'm pretty sure it would work. Yeah. I don't know. I have to think about it. Because I think this makes sense, right? Like features, right? So we can call something like flag D features Flatpak, right? So like flag D features, and that's the identifier. So we're using a little bit of reflection. So this would be flag D features Flatpak. And then all we would need to do at parse time is just decide whether or not we want to parse for these functions or not. I think that makes a lot of sense. So we'll hit it with a flag D features Gentoo. I got this backwards actually. What am I doing? Let's keep it like this because I guess the Flatpak was actually first. So this will be a user share, sir share, user share, app share. That's the flat pack, right? So we'll do. So parse. I'm almost out of mead. I'm very disappointed. I guess like this is not like a flag that we should be listening for, I suppose. This is something that you just have to ask for. Because we'll parse, like it's like parse or register feature flags. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Register feature flags. Or register feature thingies. Register feature funcs. Yeah. So we'll call it from some sort of object. We have no idea, right? So, how do we want to do this? We can do feature flags func signature. Yeah. So we'll do flag D features. Yeah, there we go. That's beautiful. It is a great idea. Thank you, me, for thinking of it. So from get method list. Okay, so what does get method list give you? Returns the objects, methods, and their signatures as an array, which does not describe anything at all. All right. So let's give me this. Give me the scratch, and then we can just run through all the functions that this gives me. Can run through all of this, blah, blah. We have all the functions. JSON, well, we don't need to do any JSON prints. We can just do get method list and then see what this gives me. Oh, good. All right, we probably should JSON print this then, huh? So JSON print get method list and then format it like it's a regular JSON object with tabs. Okay. So this gives me a dictionary with the name and the args. So that's pretty easy actually. So for f in this thingamajig pass. I'm thinking about it. For function in from get method list. So f dot name, and then we're checking to see if it has the required signature prefix. Something like that, right? So if not, f name has prefix. Hold on. What am I looking for? I want to see if these characters exist in that string, which is a may or may not be a hard task. Oh, it begins with. That's what we want. Yeah. If not, f begins with feature flags, blah, blah. Then we'll just continue. We'll just ignore it. Right? That's pretty easy. Otherwise, And then we can guarantee that it'll exist because we're working off a singleton. Well, it's not actually a singleton, but it's a auto load, which is close enough to a singleton to essentially be a singleton. Feature func refs. So this should just be an array, I think. Yeah. So feature func refs appends func ref from name, I think. Right? That's what we're looking for. Yeah. If f args, so it should not take any args either. If f args size is, so we can guarantee at the very least, but you know, whatever. If f args size is greater than 0, then also continue, because that means that it's an invalid thingy. Feature func refs appends the from object and then the func ref name. And then that should be good enough because we shouldn't have any arguments. We don't care about the return type, but I guess it would be nice, maybe. Yeah, it would be nice to have a return type. Yeah. It would be nice to have a return type, but it doesn't matter. So if you don't return anything, that's not really my problem, right? So parse. Then we can do, well, here we can do should parse feature flags, bringing that back. And then command line args can always override feature flags. It's not really my problem, right? These are just kind of like their own thing. That makes sense to me. So for I in feature func refs. So these are all a func ref, right? So we can do how do these work? Func ref, func ref, func ref, func ref. Call func. Sorry. That's the dyslexia kicking in. So the result is equal to this. If not, if result is null, or I guess if not, type of results is equal to type array. Should be am. Well, it's print error, I guess. So invalid return type from in flag D. So we'll do a little bit of string formatting. So fref function. Yeah, it's beautiful. Continue. Args appends array Results. Yeah, results, duplicate. True. So you want to, yeah, just duplicate. Should be fine. One new message. Oh, baby. Who is it? What do you want? Give the program to my sis, a non-programmer, and let it be a QA person. See what happens. Oh, baby. More QA is better than less QA. That's possibly one of the other downsides of this project is I feel like I never really get too much feedback on it. Right? Most people are just like, oh, it doesn't work, and then they don't say anything and stop using it. I don't know. Like I don't track anybody. Like I don't have a server set up. Like yeah, it's hosted on itch.io, but I don't pay them for that. I don't think they even have anything like that to track that kind of information. So bleh. All right, but I think this is okay, right? So when we call parse, we parse the feature func refs, and so then these should all be based off of the, I guess, the feature, right? So then we do need to have like a bailout condition. So if OS, if not OS, well, actually, I think we can do it like this, right? Should be pretty easy. So like this makes it as easy as possible for new people to add their code. Like there's definitely way better ways of doing this, but in terms of like ease of use, I think this makes sense, right? So these are all func refs. So func refs have a function name. It's kind of weird. I think I do need to grab all of the features. Or maybe we can do if not f ref. Well, hold on. Feature func ref name is equal to f. It's going to be a string, right? So is equal to. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it like this. So this is uncharted territory. Trim prefix feature flag signature. I think that makes sense. Feature func ref name, feature name, I guess. Yeah, feature name. OS has feature. I think that makes sense, right? Yeah. There we go. I think that makes sense. So we'll do two checks here. So for every single func ref in the feature func refs, and that's assuming that you even call it anyways, because you do need to register every single feature func ref for a specific object. But here, once we get all the func refs, and we'll kind of process everything by name via reflection, the func ref, feature func refs, then we'll grab the function name, trim the prefix, which is the signature prefix, so flag GD features, flag GD features flat pack, or gen2, right? So if it does not start with the prefix, then we ignore the function, and then if the args is greater than 0, then we also ignore it, because then that's a malformed function. So print error malformed feature func. No, just print that out, right? F name, something like that. And that should be f dot name, right? Yeah, f dot name. Something like that. Yeah. And then here, because once we have all the func refs set up, we check to see if that has the feature, trim prefix, etc. Then we'll call the function, whatever. And then here are the arguments, resource path. And then we can check for that later. So these are all arguments, blah, blah, parse the args. That could be a problem actually, because it's not expecting one of those. Maybe we should do not a dictionary. Instead we just pass one of these. Resource path, something like that. It's kind of weird, so you have to pass everything as a flag, I guess? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do, right? This is the easiest way I can think of it, though. I guess that works. I'm gonna grab myself another drink. I'll be right back. Oh, hello, I'm here. Who broke the feet? Over neck? No, it's me. Breaking necks. Having fun. Can we really be having a good time if nobody's necks are broken? Thinking. Or Call of Duty pilled, etc., etc. Alright, so I think this'll work. So we can do something like this. Something like that. Something like that. So basically like a compile time flag, but it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. Frozen a strange pose? Yep, that's because I walked away. Alright, but I think my webcam is a bit too high quality, so it's able to track me. Like, it's like a pseudo fisheye lens. So, like, it's not fisheye normally, but it does have a very, very high field of view, which is somewhat uncommon. But how are you? How are you? I recently got eye facial mocap tracking working in VPupper, which is pretty cool. Now I'm trying to work through the rest of the requested features, at least for Alpha 2, and then I can get an updated build out, which is that's the plan. I just need to see if this will work or not. So let me see. I think, like, I don't know, this is kind of weird. It's definitely kind of weird. But again, that's what you come here for, is the stuff that no one else does. So let's see. Resource path. I don't know. We can just set this to like an empty string, I guess. That'll probably be fine. Yeah, that'll probably be fine. I don't know. Resource path. And then we can use this in the extension manager because we are parsing all of the stuffs, right? So parser register feature funcs for this object self. So reflect into ourselves, we find these functions here, blah, blah, blah. Extension manager here. And so we'll have two scan paths. We'll have the default scan path and then I guess the fancy scan path. I don't really have a good name for it. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I'm thinking. Set up class. That's fine. That's one of the few things that we need to do in order to do like true object-oriented inheritance. I'm thinking. So we can guarantee the order of operations at the very least. Maybe? Hard to say. Actually, all of these are at init time, so that might not be feasible. We might actually need to wait. Hold on, just break my neck a few more times. Abstract manager. Yeah, so that's on init. That's kind of tough. Actually, hold on. App manager. Is that in ready or is that in... Oh, it is in ready. Okay. But no, we do get args beforehand, so that's fine. Yeah. So a creation type. So it's kind of like backwards, right? So init, it goes parent, child, but ready goes child, parent. So it's kind of weird. You just need to like internalize that. It makes sense though, I think. Maybe that's not how that works. scan path is equal to am app args gets something, and then it'll be empty, right? So then we can check for resource path. Yeah. If scan path empty, then we'll run through these options, right? Something like that. And then we can set a breakpoint there as well. Let's give that a try. Extension manager. Where is it? Where is it? Here. So let's give it a try. App manager. Let's just put some garbage there. That should be fine for now. Or actually, no, let's not put some garbage. Maybe. Should be okay, but yeah, for now we can put some garbage there. ASDF. Oh, then remember to change it back. So let's check out the scan path. Scan path is still empty, so that's not right. What is in the app args? We should have gotten some args, but we did not get any resource paths, which is wrong. So parse. I'm hissing like a snake because I'm annoyed. Hold on. Is this not debug? And are we not running in debug mode? Is that the question? Continue. Ooh. So what is the result? We were able to get something, right? Yeah, so resource path is ASDF, blah, blah. It is a thingamajig, so that we have args here. Move on. You know, resource path is ASDF. Oh, and then we need to parse the command line args. That's tough. I gotta think. Hold on, maybe I need to do this in the opposite order? So we'll parse the command line args and the like user data args first, but then here, you know, if args has, I think that's hard. That's hard to say, right? That's hard to say. Because I would rather you overwrite the value. You gotta think about that. I gotta think about that because I'm pretty sure this will work, right? For ion results, args has, because these should all be pre-splits, I guess. But maybe not. If args has this, or args has I splits, And the equals. Actually, it doesn't matter, right? Yeah. We don't need to check to see if it has it unsplit or split. That's fine. Well, that's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. Gotta think about that. So erase that. Elif args has I splits on equal sign something like this. I split like that. Then we'll do args that's actually kind of tough. I don't know. We'll just let it explode. That's fine. We'll just let it explode. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just let it blow up. I don't care. Run me. So what's in the results? Yeah, I mean that makes sense, right? Resource path. Yeah. Just make sure that you do everything correctly. Yeah. Should be okay. So a scan path. Scan path is still nothing, huh? App args. Resource path. Okay, so it was not able to parse that. Oh, because it's a okay. Because it's not registered as anything we should be listening for. That's right. That's tough. Okay. I'll have to think about that, but anyways, I'm over time. Technically I'm over time. Because I have things to do. Things to do tonight. So we will get around to it. And also my bot is glitched. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live on Tuesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time working on this again. This is VPupper. You know, you might have heard of it from here or there. I have no idea. If you haven't, it's available on GitHub. It's free and open source, MIT licensed, etc., etc. Which means that if you want to use it in a commercial application, all you have to do is mention the license. Lots of people don't understand that, but you know, it's pretty unambiguous wording. Anyways, there's the GitHub. Here is a Discord if you want to hop in and ask questions, etc., etc. What else? There's my general GitHub if you want to check out the other Godot related projects I work on. Anyways, I don't know. What else? Anything else important? I'm working on getting an Alpha 2 out once I get this done, plus the other things that I mentioned in my Discord, which are... Let me see. Auto-censoring the model, periodically re-censoring the model based off some algorithm. I still need to think about that. Toast notifications, that's pretty big because I think a lot of people don't read the README, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but you know, whatever. And then feature flags, which is what I was working on just now. So I need to think about the implementation of that. Those are the last things needed before an Alpha 2. It's an alpha 2, not a beta, because not everything's there. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live Tuesday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Take it easy. Goodbye. Goodbye.